Alright, everyone, and today we have the betting video a little bit earlier as usually. And I have good news and bad news. Yes, you can bet for sure, and well, that's the good news. The bad news is that it is extremely risky, and if you win because you bet on one of the big dogs like One or GT, you don't get a lot of profit. And still betting there is risky because it's an FFA KVK. So FFA unrestricted. So it's not gonna be um, a battle for like the structures. Like usually what you can see. Wait, let me do that properly. Well, where's my tools? Here they are. It's a bit messed up because I wanted to write the other way. If you take a look at this map, for example, between one and the DK, it is not going to be so that you fight for the structure and then you leave it, right? What is going to happen is that, yeah, for sure, they will fight for the structure, but then they can go up there, or they can go up there, they can go up to the Supreme Strife, and then push through the area to GT. Um, so you're not going to know what will happen exactly. You do know that, of course, they will fight for the structure, so these structures are going to be contested by, like, the cross teams, right? That's already predetermined, I guess. Or, well, if you don't, that's just stupid. Except for maybe DK18. DK18, I mean, if I were them, I would personally not like to fight GT 1, I mean. So what you can do is spawn here and then fight to the top. So one gets a free run. In that scenario, I can see that one takes a structure and goes to the left, fight IN, because if IN is out and does not get a lot of points, you have a fair share of gems there, which is pretty good. Um, so yeah, they have the power to do that. 21 billion, that's just insane. They have, of course, Mr. Ho, Wild Lion, Cyborg, and a few others. Just goes on the team, I think, too. So very big players that can go on for hours, and yeah, so that's gonna be interesting for sure. Um, so IN is a little bit at risk there, um, and so is I mean DK18 is not gonna win. I can tell you that already. It's not gonna happen because there is one in that area, unless one decides to ally somehow with DK18 and say, okay, we gotta rig the points. But you don't know. It's an unrestricted FFA, right? So then you have BTA versus IN, and I think IN will, of course, win the first part, right? So let's give them the color. Well, yellow is a bit distracting. Let's do it green. They win the first fight, of course. Where they want to go? Well, first of all, they should defend, right? And hold. Then my guess is if they can even beat BTA, which they will need to block, they will kind of try to go to middle, right? Um, because going up is very hard. You gotta go fight GT here, and you gotta fight OG, which is not gonna be very easy. So basically, their only choice, in my opinion, would be to go mid, and in mid they will have to fight one still. So yeah, one will be here in mid too. So there will be a front in mid between one and IN, and that front will be all the way over here, right? That's my guess what will happen. So in that scenario, IN is not safe, right? And one is just a very strong team. They have perseverance, of course. They have more troops, so they can go on for quite a while. OG, let's do the scenario for OG and GT over there. People are all betting on GT, but their power is pretty similar. The fun thing is Solimar, leader of OG, Cortex, leader of 60GT, Akina, the leader of IN, and I believe, yeah, Pink's leader is Grey Worm. They were all at the meeting with me in Amsterdam, right? So that's kind of funny. You have four leaders here that were in Amsterdam. Um, but yeah, maybe they talk together, OG and 60GT. 60GT can perhaps say, okay, OG, you take the structure. We try to get you in top four to get an insane amount of gems. I mean, you can rig it literally because GT had like 400, 500 million RX bets on them. If they make sure OG gets there and they put their coins on OG, they easily quadruple, perhaps, yeah, multiply their coins by five. But yeah, let's just say they are gonna fight together. I don't know, it's 50-50 between them because they are similar in power. They are both very strong teams. So yeah, of course you give 60 GT an edge because of their history, because they have a little bit more power, which is, well, I'm not gonna say anything if it's this close. But yeah, if anything were to happen, they would try, in my opinion, to blockade the area. If OG wins, they want to blockade it. They should not focus on fighting for mid because they can get enough points for top four for holding that structure in unrestricted. So OG would want to hold that structure. GT on the other hand, I think they like a little fight. They would want to go to middle too, right? They want to go push the middle, maybe perhaps even push to the sides to DS and pink scenario. So let's do the last scenario over here for DS and pink. Um, pink has a little bit the odds in favor, in my opinion. Like they have more power, they are a very solid team, but of course, DS is the same thing, right? These are the top teams. Um, but yeah, power, eventually DS is going to run out faster. That's simply a fact. You cannot change the fact, although it depends who have more spenders, but still. Let's just say Pink wins. If Pink wins, which is hard because they will get pushed, they will need to bell the flag line over here to defend and make that a big blockade, right? Against DK, so that one can crush DK, so that DK gets sandwiched, right? And then they also got to fight DS on this front, which is not going to be easy. That's why I guess DS has a little bit of the edge still in this fight because they would want to build a blockade over here against GT if GT is gonna come. But GT will probably be busy with OG for quite a while, so um, I guess they will just try to blockade here and then build first. Well, they are gonna build before they're gonna focus on the structure first, right? I think, yeah, overall, this would be kind of the map. They, DS, for example, and Pink would definitely not go to mid and spend even more troops. They would want to focus entirely on defending so that they can get the points to get that top four. I don't think they would want to go to mid if they were playing strategically. Same goes for OG, but I guess I mean, if they know they're gonna be GT, easily lock them up and then have enough troops to fight for the Supreme Strife, sure, they can go ahead. But I don't think that's gonna be the best play. Only one and perhaps IN are gonna be able to make that play. Of course, this is all made up, right? I This is just a scenario, multiple scenarios, and anything can happen. And I am probably wrong on a lot of things and assumptions, right? Because simply we don't know. We're not part of the Diplo, and the Diplo is not gonna get leaked. So yeah, to make a call for everyone here, I would not say to go all in on a risky team. I don't think it's worth it. Because you don't want to lose half your coins at this stage. Like I have 634,000 coins, right? That would be 63k gems. I don't want to lose 32k gems. I don't. So yeah, you can of course bet safe, and I think one will make it. And even then, if somehow GT loses, you get 25% profit, around 25% or 30%, which is still decent. That's not bad at all. So one is, for me personally, the only reliable bet. Um, because they will for sure win their fight, that is already certain. And they have the troops to sustain their points, right? They can go on for hours. If you want a really risky bet, perhaps DS, but yeah, I'm really scared to call out names. Perhaps OG, but yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be doing that at this point, I think, if you have a lot of coins. unless you don't give a shit about your coins. IN, yeah, I mean, I can see why you bet IN. It's one of the safer options. Like, one is the safest, and I would say IN is probably the second safest, and then GT the third safest, although GT is gonna have trouble with OG. So yeah, IN, I can see why you do it. The betting would be way better, the results, right? Quite sad that we cannot split, because then I would split between IN and 1. So yeah, you still need to decide for yourself what's going to be better, 1 or IN. If you want to take a big gamble, go with IN, well, which will be the second safest bet in this whole realm, or 1, which is going to be the safest but lower payout. But I mean, we already got a nice season, so it's honestly worth it. So yeah, I leave that option for you open. I'm also in KVK, so I won't be doing a lot of stuff on YouTube. I won't be able to react always on Discord either. But yeah, please make sure to join the Discord. If we get any live updates, I'll let you know in there. That might change your betting strategy or anyways. Thanks for watching so far, and see you later.